Good evening and welcome to At Knots with me, Chloe Bicknell. Here's what's on the way today. With COVID vaccine uptake low across the county and hesitancy among the black and ethnic minority community, you'll hear from the man finding out why that is. Plus, another man from Forest Hills has documented his journey of getting a jab to encourage others to do the same.
Just had my first COVID-19 vaccination and it went very well. I think it's really important that those of us in the black and Asian communities work together to control this virus.
Nottingham City Council is planning to sell off some of its assets to claw back around £1 billion worth of debt. In sports, you'll meet some of the very best cricket players in the world playing in a brand new competition right here in Notts.
It's 100 balls, it's different than 120 balls in T20 cricket, and I think the format on the scoreboard might look a little bit different, so that the newer spectator will probably be fascinated.
And the world's oldest boxer will fight for the last time next month.
This one's the end all and be all, and I'm going to win this. God, I'm going to win this. That title's coming to England and it's going to be mine.
All that and more still to come. But first, tackling COVID vaccine hesitancy. Uptake for the jab in Nottingham and Nottinghamshire, particularly among young people, is one of the lowest in the East Midlands. Reports show that Arboretum, Forest and Nottingham Trent University have the lowest uptake of people who have been double jabbed out of anywhere in the city, just 16.1% in those areas having both. And the British Psychology Society has found there's a hesitancy among those in the BAME community around getting a jab. To tackle this, Devontay has been running online sessions to look into why this is. He joins me on the line now. Good evening, Devontay. Thank you so much for joining me.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the platform to discuss this great community work that we're fulfilling at the moment. Thank you.
No worries at all. Can we start with why these sessions are happening really and why you've wanted to do something about the low uptake?
Yeah, I think it boils down to creating these particular sessions to kind of delve into further insight. So the aims of the sessions are to collate as many points of view from a local community as possible, from as many different diverse cultures and kind of ethnicities, to have a frank and open conversation around vaccine hesitancy within the BAME community. I think we're in a position now at the moment with the dire need of vaccines, and the insight, it seems to be somewhat lacking in terms of the way that the message is being communicated. So as part of the webinar sessions that we're running, we're aiming to have a solutions-based approach to capture any perceived barriers, mistrust, or general misinformation surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine. But more importantly, the project aims to do this in a way to ensure that vaccine hesitancy within the Nottingham community in particular is obviously at its lowest number. So we get more people vaccinated, but making sure that people have the right, reliable information in terms of health and safety. And we hope by doing that, we're able to motivate the community broadly to actually make more informed choices around the vaccine itself.
Well, it's vital work, isn't it? From the conversations you've had so far, where do you think some of the fears around the jab have stemmed from?
So I think there's a massive element in the media and on social media around different elements and what people would sometimes call conspiracy theories. But I think what that sometimes does is it alienates the community even further, because if you can't have an open and frank conversation, what seems to happen is it reinstills a belief that you may not have the full picture or the information to be able to make a bit more of a more informed choice. There's also a massive element of censorship that's going on the internet at the moment and social media platforms around opposing views. And I think the key thing to it, that for a community creates fear, it creates paranoia, but what it does, it also has a bit of a, I'd probably phrase it this way, a bit of a dictatorial approach in terms of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't. So as part of these sessions, we're aiming to kind of dispel those myths, get very specialist people in from the NHS, community leaders and professionals to give their personal perspective and lived experience on why vaccine hesitancy is prevalent in the community, but more importantly, what are the solutions towards addressing that and making more informed choices as it pertains to the vaccine.
Wonderful. Well, we've got plenty more to discuss, but just for now, back in May to encourage those in the BAME community to get vaccinated, Aja Sufu from Forestfields documented his own journey of getting a jab. Others in the city explained why they thought it was essential for them to get protected, but some said off camera they didn't feel they needed the vaccine because they're young, fit and healthy. The NHS encourages all of you eligible for a jab to get one, no matter your background.
Just had my first COVID-19 vaccination and it went very well. I think it's really important that those of us in the Black and Asian communities work together to control this virus. It's had a really dreadful impact on our communities especially. So when you do get your call up, I would really encourage you to take the vaccination.
I actually care for an elderly parent, so I decided it was essential to have the vaccine.
I thought, have the jab straight away. Don't think about it, just do it. It don't hurt at all, so all these people who are denying it and all that is silly. My stepson, he's not having the jab. I don't know why. Why are people refusing it?
I've decided to take the vaccine as I work for healthcare, so I want to protect those who I work for with and for obviously my family as well, because I do have vulnerable people in my family.
Devontay is still with me on the line. As we saw there, some great work being done across the city too. What's next with you and your sessions?
So our sessions, we theme them on three key elements, which is insight, trust and solutions, and then we're going to have a lived experience. The whole kind of project overview is to actually create a white paper document, share all this information with the local community and drive the conversation. Just to add to that as well, we wouldn't have been able to deliver this project without the National Lotteries Community Fund. They've been extremely supportive in terms of doing this research project. So the next steps are to widen the conversation to a national audience, really.
Amazing. And if people want to follow your journey or maybe get involved with it themselves, where can they find some more details?
Brilliant. So you can find us on Facebook, Unity in the Community Nottingham CIC. You can find us on LinkedIn at Unity in the Community CIC. And you can also visit our website, which is uitc.co.uk. All of our projects and all of the news of all our community activism work is all detailed there. So please get in touch if you want to get active and involved with some of the work that we're doing.
Amazing. Thank you ever so much for joining us. It'll be great to catch up in the future to see where this goes. But for now, take care. Thank you.